Hello, this is Pam at tamborazul.com, and I'd like to discuss a little bit in the book of Genesis. It says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. It goes like this. And in Greek, in ancient Greek, that is translated as logos. Now, logos also means measure. Can be musical measure or mathematical measure. And it also means law. The law. Like natural law. Not just a word. So, as I've spoken about Walter Burkert, the famous Swiss classics professor, discussing that some words and some letters in the Greek alphabet are pictographs, or even doing a dance. And he said some of the ancient sacred languages, especially Hebrew, there's layers of meaning. There's a dance going on, or there's a pictograph giving you another layer of meaning. Well, so too with logos. We can see we're starting off with a triskele, the three legs, indicating, well, in the Freudian system it's id, ego, superego, and in the Ayurvedic or the Indian system in Sanskrit it's the tamas for the base, like lower system, and then the fiery Rajasic, the king, and then you've got the sattvic or the wise sublime level. So we've got the three gunas represented in the beginning, the triskele logos, and then we get a seed. Now, if you've got a pre-existing species, you just need a mom and a dad. But if you're making something new, like an Adamic race, you need three. So in the griffin, in Egypt, the griffin is represented by lion, cobra, falcon, or hawk, or eagle, high-flying bird, or even an owl. And then in Peru, they use a condor, as well as falcon or hawk, eagle. And the word for falcon in Quechua, a Peruvian native language, the word is woman, which is like an English woman. And it is the griffin is the female principal, the mother principal. So you get the condor, a big high-flying bird, predator. And condors they'll fly at a sheep to scare it and make it fall off the mountain. So it's not just, it can cause a death. It's not exactly a raptor. And so you get a condor, a puma, and a python or boa constrictor. So you got puma, boa, condor in Peru. That's the griffin. That's the female. That's what this Orion planet, Tara, Aria, was griffin. And they're fabulous gardeners, like in Kerala and Peru. And then, for the Sirians, you get singers, incredible singers. You get the rooster, and they're male. Rooster crowing at the rising sun. Whales, only the male whale sings, and they can, humpback whales and some of the big whales can sing 4 hours without repeating the chorus. And you've got the wolf or dog, and they bay at the moon. And the Greeks and the pirates were famous storytellers. And the pirates, if you were a good storyteller, you got brought up above deck. You didn't have to be in chains. You could be fed the good food. You just had to keep the stories coming. So they're the teller of tales. And they're the invaders, and they're in control of the narrative, and they're twisting it and inverting it and blaming the victim and all this kind of thing, but that's their shtick. And they're part of the Adamic. They're the father principle. And then the Pleiadean this is also the symbol of the Holy Trinity. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost being the mother, the matrix. And the Pleiadean is like the child, so Father Sirian, Mother Griffin Cat, planet, and the child is the Pleiadean. And the Pleiades are in the foot of the bull, the constellation Taurus. There's the bull, the bee, and the hummingbird. Ant is another, just as the owl is the nighttime bird in the griffins, bringing in a bit of black magic, the ant is a bit of an underworld, in with the Pleiadian, a bee or an ant. And the third part is the hummingbird. Now, ants, bees, hummingbirds, very territorial. Hummingbirds will fight over their area of flowers, or if people have hummingbird feeders up, it's good to have 3 or more because they'll fight over them. I had 6 hummingbirds in my little balcony and they still fought over them. But, and of course the bull is very fiercely protective of his territory, and cows too. So there, we've got the, in our book of Genesis for Adamic man, it's the Pleiadian, the Sirian, and the griffin. Then we move on. You get the seed from that. So you make the mix of that. And then you have, it looks like the fish symbol. The Piscean age is what we're coming out of now. That was the symbol for Christ too. But it's also the symbol of the womb. It's the letter G. Gune for women begins with like gynecology. That starts with the G, the Greek G. So it comes through the womb, and we see if it's stable, and then can it sprout? You've got logos, so this is the sigma for the letter S, and there it's sprouting. Is it a viable seed? So it's been in a material matrix. You've got it on paper, you've got Pleiadian, Sirian, Griffin. You've stabilized the egg. You put it through a material mother womb. Does it sprout? So that's part of what we've been doing in this. And in the Sumerian myths, and the Sumeria was pre-Babylon, pre the Bible, and it's Ea, who is or also known as Enki. And he is the one who was tasked with making Eve, which is also Aoe, was the Bacchant or Dionysian chant. The ladies would be in their Bacchic chant, Bacchic Dionysian revels. So Ea is the father, and then we've got like the three parts and the bull's head, and then we've got Eve with it's like a vase or for the flowers, the embrace, and she's the mother matrix also, and that can be the cow. Some cows will have horns too. Ea and Ava. And something that's often heard is I'm the Alpha. Well, in the book of Revelations, it says I'm the Alpha and the Omega. And although this means the first and last letter of the ancient Greek alphabet, it also means I'm the bull, the father, and if you know cow physiology, a cow has a double-walled uterus, and when it's about to calf, it opens up to create in cross-section this omega shape. So this is the mother cow giving birth. So I'm the Father, the Mother, the Child. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. So the Greek alphabet is like a dance towards the creation of the logos of the Adamic race at some level. So, and the Greeks were traders, the Athenians, and that they didn't farm that much. I had a University of Toronto professor who said if they'd had Chinese there, or some from Hong Kong, they would have been pulling 3 crops or more off of the Greek Isles. But as it was, no, they were just not very good farmers. If you had a stable of horses, it was like you were a real rich man. You could have a Maserati, because they had to bring in the hay to feed a lot of horses. They had to bring in food. Sicily was their bread basket. And very different. They made their money in different ways. But the Indians in India, the subcontinent, and they had real wealth. They were pulling all kinds of crops off, but also they had the silks, the paper making, the block printing, the cardamom and saffron, and the incredible riches of sapphires and rubies and gold, and of course fabulous arts and crafts. So, but they said the always wealthy, because the Athenians would really boast about how well they were doing, even though they were like dirt poor subsistence farmers compared to some of the level of wealth that the Indians had. Still, the Indians would say, we have to bow to them as gods, the namaste. I bow to the divinity in you. The always excited, always wealthy Greeks, even those we have to bow to, because they have furthered our knowledge of the stars, of astronomy. So it's interesting if you read the book by Edna Lee. She talks about the catalogue of ships in the Iliad, in the Trojan War, as the Greeks and their allies coming in to invade Troy, which is Turkey. And that this is a story of our invasion of this planet. This Orion, cat griffin, more matriarchal planet got invaded by the Sirian and especially Pleiadean. And that's what I'm looking into in this series, Building the Eve Grid. We have to honor all 3 parts. I'll introduce more about the dreaded Orion queens, about the Sirians, Achilles, the brightest star in the sky, but the young dying soldier, and about the Pleiadians, the fun-loving hummingbirds. I'll give a video to each of those later. So that's enough for now. This is Pam at Tambor Azul. Thank you.